Well, I've been climbing for over 3 hours now from Arico Nuevo and Villa de Villa de Arico. I'm now climbing up through the mountains, through the pine forest from Villa de Arico towards a recreation zone called El Contador. I'm probably less than a mile from the recreation zone at the moment, but it's all uphill, and after 3 hours it's starting to get a little bit tiring, but I'll have a nice break when I get to El Contador, which is directly up there in the centre of the picture. After that I've got a bit more climbing to do. I'm going up in those forests in the background there, and then where the land slopes down there I'll be descending very steeply all the way back down to Arico Nuevo where my car is parked. I expect the walk to take probably at least 7 hours overall. Anyway, it's a lovely day, a bit hazy, bit of a Kalima going on, nothing serious though, so it's not too hot. Pretty good walking weather really. Anyway, see you later. Well, here I am in the El Contador recreation zone. You can see barbecues up and tables up there, and people come up for picnics. And although most people have probably never heard of El Contador, let alone visited it, you can actually drive all the way up here from Villa de Arico. We're 4,000 feet up in the mountains here, so it's quite a nice spot for anybody who wants to come and investigate. There's all sorts of facilities here. I haven't investigated all of them. There's a little playground over there for children. And there's a signpost up here, which, if I read it correctly, means I've got the best part of 11 kilometres to go back to Arico Nuevo. via the Lomo de Tamadaya. I've walked that area before. It's a very spectacular valley, or ridge and valley actually. So perhaps I'll show you a bit of that later on. Hi, back again. I've just left El Contador, just to give you an idea of the sort of climbing that's required in these mountains. I've already climbed at least 3,000 feet today since leaving Villa de Arico. That track you can see down in the forest, I've just come up from that, very steep climb up this little path. Now I've got more climbing to do, and it's starting to hurt a little bit, simply because I've actually not done anything this strenuous for some time, and the reason I'm doing it now is because in about 6 months' time I'm going to the UK to do the Pennine Way. As I was saying before the memory card ran out, I'm doing the Pennine Way next year, and I'll be camping as much of it as possible, so I've got to carry quite a big rucksack, over 270 miles. So this is the first big walk really in the training session. Anyway, I better go, so I've not got a lot of space on this memory card. See you later. This probably won't look that impressive on film, but from here it's absolutely stunning. This is looking down the Barranco de Tamadaya. The rocks you can see on the left is the Roques de Tamadaya, and in front of that there's a large broad green ridge with a zigzag path on it. That's the Lomo de Tamadaya, and that's my return route, so I've got to get all the way back down there. Absolutely stunning. Well, the mountain in the background, pine covered mountain in the background I pointed out as I entered El Contador, is now just in front of me. I'm still climbing, unfortunately, but I know there's not a lot left, and then I start the descent into Arico Nuevo. I've done a good 3,300, 400 feet minimum of ascent at the moment. It's still going on, so it's going to be a good, probably getting on towards 4,000 feet by the end of the day. Right, I'm now on the Lomo de Tamadaya, the big broad ridge with the path running along the top that you could see from up above in one of the earlier clips. I'm about over 2,000 feet lower than I was then. It's quite a tiring descent. You can see the Barranco now, and there's an old pump house down in the bottom there, and the rocks in the centre there, that's the Roques de Tamadaya. This area is utterly spectacular, one of my favourite walking areas, Arico. Not all that frequented by walkers though, strangely, but it is really spectacular. It's probably because it's quite strenuous and the paths are quite rough, but well worth the effort. I've probably got anything up to an hour to get back to the car. I've been walking 6.5 hours, so probably about 7.5 hours by the end of the day. Well, I've almost finished the walk, but it's got one last sting in the tail. I've got this barranco to cross, so after 7.25 hours of walking, I've got to go all the way down into that barranco and then cross and climb up to where that white signpost is, that board, and then up past that terracing over there, and in the village you might be able to hear a vehicle over there, so I'm not far off. But it's a bit annoying. Oh well. See you next time.